Good morning. I have an interesting project today. We have a bunch of Roman shades in our living room. There's actually 6 of them. I've got 6 windows and I like having the shades there, but I don't like the fabric. So my original plan was to DIY completely new Roman shades, but I figured out that the existing systems are actually not that complicated. So I'm just gonna take the whole thing apart, replace the fabric, and then put the whole thing back together. So I'm gonna go and get started. So the existing system is incredibly easy. It is actually stuck with a bit of Velcro. I'll take it apart so that you can see how it looks. There are 6 rods like this that you can just take out. Every rod has a set of rings. You can see that there was actually a wire in the middle as well, but it broke, so it's still hanging here. I'm actually using 2 rings on each rod in my new version. I take off the wires first, and that way it's actually already apart from the fabric, so we can take this off again. There. And we've got these. There's one at the bottom that actually weighs a lot more. We are reusing all of this. 97.5 wide, plus 4 centimeters seam allowance. That should be enough. I'll also take off the Velcro and reuse that as well. Try my best to move on, to let go. So I got this piece of fabric. It's a sand color and it's got a linen look to it. It's absolutely beautiful. I did make a little bit of a strange decision. They're only going to be 130 long when the originals are actually 160. I did this because it saved me a lot of fabric. I can actually take 2 pieces out of 1 piece of fabric now. We never close these things. They are always up. So it was a complete waste of money, in my opinion, to make them longer. So I'm going to go and cut these to the correct width, and then we can actually get started on the pieces. They say time is a healer. Just you wait and see. So I'm cutting them to 101.5. So that is 97.5 plus 4 centimeters seam allowance. Oh, my marker broke. Tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter snow? Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should I know that you believe in me? So painfully quiet and slow. I try my best to move on, letting go. So in order to be able to put the dowels inside the fabric, we're going to have to sew a couple of pockets. And I do this by folding the fabric right sides together. And then I'm just going to measure out how far the fold is going to be from the top, because I'm going to start with the first one from the top. I have already calculated that I want one dowel about 33 centimeters from the top, and then the second one 23, and then the next 4 I think are 23 centimeters high, and then the last one is simply the fabric that is left. For the way that I want them to hang, it's important that the last one is shorter than the one before, so that it will disappear behind the curtain. Now these are the dowels that will go inside, so I will simply have to make sure that I sew these far enough from the fold so that this will still fit inside. A little over 1 centimeter. They cannot be too tight because you won't be able to get them in. I'm just going to iron these folds for the whole curtain at once, and then I will sew them all at the same time. And now, there's something in the air. So at the bottom of the fabric, we're going to use this heavier one. We're going to sew a pocket for that as well. Restoring everything within. Are you very comfortable in my chair? So with the fabric folded and the fold ironed, I can very easily sew a straight line along the edge. And I'm going to do it about 1 centimeter off of the edge. I'm just going to use my centimeter guide on my machine.
sense of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
Just checking. There we go. That should go perfectly. And now I'll just have to do it for all the other 500.
Building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of.
So this is what the pockets look like from the back. From the front, this is all you see. So this is where the dowels are going to go inside. And then at the bottom, there's a bigger pocket for the heavier one that's going to go on the bottom. And then there's one more thing that we need to sew. And that is the piece of Velcro that will go on top. It's very easy. I'm just going to sew this right beneath the top seam like that. You may remember in the beginning we took off the rings of the original curtain. I'm simply going to reattach them to our new one because we need them to guide the cord later on. So as I said, the original systems that you can use to like roll them up and down, they are very simple. I'm just gonna set you down right here. There we go. This is what it looks like. It has a couple of things inside that holds the wires and that makes sure that you can roll them up. I'm going to have to take a couple of them out because I don't want the middle one. I only need 2 on the side. This is what holds them in place. So I'm just going to unscrew these. So I'm just going to take one of them out, which in theory should not be that hard. There we go. They're actually very, very clever little systems. They even make sure that they don't go, that the wires roll up neatly next to each other instead of over one another. It's pretty clever. But we don't need 3, we only need 2. So move this to the side and then put this at the end again. Now this is what we use to pull the curtains up and down. And I want to keep that, but I don't like this weight that is at the bottom. It really just is there to keep the chain hanging straight down, I guess. There's a piece of lead inside. I might actually use that for something. Maybe I will create some weights at the bottom again, but I'll have to think about how I'm going to do that. It's not going to look like this. The wire is going to go through all of the rings, and then we're going to tie it to the bottom one. And that is pretty much it. I'm actually going to do a couple of adjustments, just making sure that it hangs all straight, and then I will show you exactly what it looked like before and what it looks like now. I really hope you enjoyed watching me create these new curtains. I am actually going to do a complete makeover of this living room very, very soon. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.